Hi, this is John, and this video is about a hike through Colorado's oasis on the plains, Castlewood Canyon State Park, during what turned out to be the rainiest June in the region's history. It includes distant vistas, wildflowers, jungle-like forest, and a rain-swollen creek that caused an unexpected detour. Nestled in the Black Forest region of Colorado's eastern plain, the canyon is just under an hour south of downtown Denver and a mere 15 minutes east of I-25 at Castle Rock, but it feels very remote and secluded. Arriving at sunrise on a Saturday towards the middle of June, I pulled into the first parking lot, utterly empty at this early hour. A short walk to the Bridge Canyon overlook yielded inspiring views of the Upper Canyon, which is spanned by a historic arch bridge constructed in 1946. Back at the parking lot, I strolled down the paved Canyon View Nature Trail, beginning what was supposed to be a 3.8-mile lollipop loop hike through the park's east side, but which turned into a much longer trek. Accessible to all, the entirely paved nature trail winds across a flower-studded plateau above the canyon, and which after last night's storm is dotted with little pools of rainwater. Throughout its length, the trail, or sidewalk, provides amazing views of the surrounding plain and at a couple of overlooks of the canyon itself. The tablelands through which the trail winds are composed of primarily Castle Rock conglomerate, a sedimentary rock formation dating back 30 million years in geologic time. In a little over half a mile of easy strolling, I reached the trailhead for the Inner Canyon Trail, which will take me down into the canyon and across Cherry Creek before connecting with the Lake Gulch Trail. The Inner Canyon Trail begins dropping down immediately, but is not overly difficult because the canyon is only about 100 feet deep here, and much of the descent is via sets of stairs. This is the perfect place to get up close and personal with the Castle Rock Formation, containing its embedded pebbles and stones, as well as numerous small caves. The stones that have dislodged from the rock face can said to have been twice eroded, first from the Rocky Mountains over 30 million years ago, and more recently from these stone walls. A little further along, Cherry Creek comes into view and shockingly has been transformed from a placid stream into a raging torrent by the ongoing rains. The rising waters are getting close to the bottom of the footbridge, which, though it is still standing, is beginning to look a little precarious. In fact, a news report posted the week following my visit reported the little bridge to have been washed out by the continually rising water. Back on solid ground, the trail winds along the creek bottom, occasionally skirting huge boulders that fell at some point from the canyon's walls. Again, due to weeks of persistent rain, a stand of gamble oak has turned into what seems like an overgrown jungle. The trail provides frequent views of the overflowing creek, and I am beginning to be a little concerned about getting back across it. Getting so close to the creek also makes it very believable that this is the rainiest June in the Denver area's history. In fact, by the end of the month, the halfway point of the year, the region will have already received 99% of its average annual precipitation. Further along, the canyon begins to open up and the views become much longer, providing a better perspective on just how much of a jumbled mess of boulders the canyon's floor truly is. Speaking of boulders, hopping them across the creek is the way I'm supposed to get to the other side at the crossing that is coming up. At last, I see the Lake Gulch Trail rising on the far side of the creek, but I'm still not able to see the actual crossing. Will it be underwater? And the answer is yes. It is not possible to jump from boulder to boulder here, and trying to make my way through the current just seems a little too risky. So it's time for me to make like a politician and start to backtrack. Fortunately, It is only about 3/4 of a mile back to the trailhead, and soon I am on top of the plateau once again. Here I find the shortgrass prairie engaged in a peaceful protest, rebelling against a wetter than normal spring with a wildflower riot. After reaching the parking lot, I head out on the Lake Gulch Trail, and I am soon treated to a view of Pikes Peak, almost 40 miles in the distance, rising as it does to 14,115 feet, high above the low-lying clouds at its base. A little further along, I come to a lone sentinel, a gnarly old juniper growing out of a crack in the rock, keeping its lifelong vigil over the valley below. And suddenly, the world seems somehow to me a little less big and scary and a little less lonely. And I hope you're feeling this way too. Bye for now.